Hello all and welcome to the latest Craft Mania Sunday Showcase. I'm Jamie, your host today. Now I know that might seem slightly confusing because you're looking at a piece of card. The reason we're holding you here is I want to point out the new product that I'm going to be sharing with you today. What we're looking at is a Crackle Texture paste. So I've got 12 brand new shades of this. Now hopefully you're getting to see on camera how it's all cracked up and gives us a really nice vintage effect. That's the beauty of working with this product. It comes in 12 different colours. These are the little tower of colours that you're going to get to see shortly. But I'm going to start off by showing you how it works. And then I'll take you through all of the 12 colours. We've also got lots of new stencils for you today. And we have an essentials pack. And we've got lots and lots of offers. So it's going to be, hopefully, a really good video. What we've got to begin with is just one of the stencils that I'm going to be playing with. And I'm going to do this on a piece of black card. You can use any colour card you want to. And obviously, depending on the colour of your Cosmic Shimmer Crackle paste you're using, your results will, of course, vary. But I want you to be able to see this go on really easily on film. So I'm going to put my piece of card on the back of my stencil. I'm going to use some stencil tape to hold it in place. We have, of course, got stencil tape available for you today. It can be purchased as a separate pack of stencil tape, or you can actually get it in your mega bundle or your essential pack. But we'll chat more about that when we get there later. I'm going to be using one of my spatulas. Now again, the spatulas, you do get these in your essential pack, or you can buy them individually, but we'll chat about that soon. You actually get 5 in the pack. Now these are really good. I'll be honest with you, I've used many of these before, palette knives and different styles of tools. And usually the handles are really weak and wishy-washy. And I know the front's meant to be, but the back tends to be too. And it can actually be quite a pain in the bum trying to use them. These are really good quality. They're a really thick plastic for your handle, but a really good spatula too. They're not too thin, so they don't get caught in the bits of your stencil. They really are actually quite good. The pack is available for $4.99, but as I say, we will chat more about that later. The good bit as well is they give you lots of different ends on them. So if you want to use more than one colour on your stencils, you can do, because you've got the precise bits to do that with. So they really are a good set of tools instead of just using a credit card or something like that. I really would recommend you get these. So in here, this is our actual texture paste. I'm using Frosted Aqua to give you an idea. I'm going to dig in here and get some of this out. Now the good bit is with this, it doesn't matter how much you bring out of the pot, we will use what we want and then we'll pop back whatever's left. So it isn't one of them things where you can be wasteful. The good bit with using a good tool is that you can pick up as much or as little as you want to and clean away after yourself. So we'll just keep applying some of this on here. Now you don't have to go in any particular direction. The good thing with this paste is the thicker you apply it, the more of a crackle glaze effect you'll get, or a crackle effect you'll actually create. The thinner it is, the smaller the crackle. The thicker you apply it, the bigger the crack. Hope that makes sense. I know what I mean. Okay, so we won't do all of it. We'll just give you a little idea of what's going on here, and we'll pop that one off so we can see how that's done. So, quick reveal. Working back to front, and as you can see, that's really quite easy to do. It wasn't anything difficult at all, was it? Of course, you can marry these up and do larger designs if you want to. We can cut them down. We can use any colour cardstock we want to, as I said earlier. There really is a lot of options we can do with this. Now, I'm going to leave this one here so that we can come back to that later on in this video. I know a lot of you are going to be wondering how long it takes to dry and how long it will take to crack up. I've left mine normally about 15 minutes and found that they're usually quite good to work with after that. So we'll come back towards the end of the video and we'll check on how that's doing and see if we can focus in and show you the crackles that are on that one. Obviously, this is a great technique to use to make any cards, scrapbooking pages, home decor. I've actually made about 15 different projects today that I'm going to try and get through and show you. They're really brilliant. This is just one of them that I'll get to show you in a bit more detail later. You're also getting a little glimpse at another version of the stencils as well. As I said, there is lots of stencils we're going to try and get through today to show you. But let's start off by having a look at the colours that you can actually get this paste in, because I'm sure that's one of the things you're thinking already, is how many colours can I get and what things can I be doing with them. So the first one we're going to look at down here is jar 1. Now if you are new to our videos, every week we give you an offer. So for instance, your paste this week should be £4.50, but we've given you a nice little reduction. It's only £3.79 a jar. And this offer is valid until 5 PM on Saturday the 11th of August 2018. Now, if you do pick any of these colours and you'd like to buy them individually, not a problem. Just take note of the number jar that we talk about, or the product code that we give you for each of the products as we go through today's video. And if you wish to order via Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, over the phone or via text, if you can refer to that code, we'll know the item you're on about. If you're going to be ordering on our website, then don't worry, everything is pictured individually or in the bundles, so you don't need to worry about codes. It's ever so simple to do it on there if you wish to have it home delivered, or of course click and collect in store. So the first one we're looking at is Frosted Aqua. As I said, it's jar 1. It is, or should be, £4.50, but it's reduced to only £3.79. Now down here, I've done one sample on white to give you a little idea of how it's going to look on white cardstock, and one on the black as well. And I've done that for all 12 colours, because I really do feel that the colour card you put it onto can really influence how you see the colour and how vibrant or vintage it is. So that's your first one, that's Frosted Aqua. Next one along is jar 2. This one is Frosted Blossom. Now I will say as well, when you look at the colour of the actual jar, they tend to be a bit more muted than when you actually use the product. If you compare this colour jar to our white sample beneath it, hopefully you're seeing how that one's a bit brighter. And of course, all of these colours crack up. This is a really good sample for you to hopefully see that crackle effect working again. It's just so beautiful, I really love it. It's just nice to use a different type of texture paste. Then of course you've got your black sample for this one, which of course is jar 2 Frosted Blossom. Moving on, we have a Denim Blue. This is jar 3. Again, of course it's reduced, so it should be £4.50, but it's only £3.79. And once again, we have a white sample for you and a black one beneath that. I think that's a really good colour again, to see that contrast, that black and white bit. It really takes on a whole new meaning depending on the colour you're popping it onto. Moving on to our next one, jar 4 is Regal Purple. Now I have a feeling this one will be popular. We know that everyone likes their purples and lilacs, so we expect this one to go quite quickly. So this is your Regal Purple, jar 4. Again, we have a white sample and a black one, just to give you a little glimpse into what they're going to look like. And then moving on, we have jar 5. Now this is Frosted Mink, which is actually really beautiful. I weren't too sure what we was going to be getting with this one. It looked a bit cloudy in the jar, but actually when we use it, it's really beautiful. And again, a really good one to see the crackle effect on. It really does crackle up and give you a really lovely vintage effect. Now if you're wondering how my samples have changed, I'd been doing them all as separates, and then I thought about it, and I'd made all of my cards by this time. I actually thought, well, if I pop the white one on the middle first of all, and then stencil through both at one go, I've created my 2 samples that I need. And I quite like that, A, because it was a shortcut, and I'm quite good at coming up with shortcuts, because anything I can get away with doing too much is brilliant. And secondly, it gives you a really nice opening on that black sample for you to put something else, like a decoupage or a picture or a sentiment or a topper. It really gives you that opportunity. So I know it's silly and something I hadn't thought of before, but you could of course mask areas off using your stencils to create them effects. So I've done a few of them, and you'll get to see them on other colours too. Moving on, we have jar 6. This is Smooth Caramel. Again, a beautiful colour. Really nice for men's cards again with this one, I was thinking. There's a beautiful tree stencil coming up that we'll get to show you with this colour as well. It looks really good. And of course, you've got your black and your white sample for that one again. Then we'll move on to jar 7. This one is Frosted Heather, which is a beautiful lilac-y purple. And as you can see on your white sample, it really just pops on white. It's such a crisp colouring. Then of course we have your black sample as well. And I really like the stencil that we've done these ones through. I think that's a really beautiful one, but we'll get onto your stencil shortly. Moving on, we have number 8. Now this one is called Forest Green. To me it's a bit more tealy than a foresty green, but I'm no colour expert, so I'm not going to pretend I am, but it is a really nice sort of dark tealy green to me. Again, we've got our white sample and our black sample to give you different ideas on how they're going to look. And then jar 9. Jar 9 is Ruby Red. Again, really good if we're thinking of Christmas. We of course have some Christmas stencils for you to have a look at today with this in mind. Ruby Red is on its white sample here and on the black one below again. And I think the red looks really good on the black. Red and black is really lovely, isn't it? Especially if you team it up with some gold or white maybe. Really lovely colour combo. Jar number 10 is Frosted Jade. Now, I believe that's one of the ones we were looking at earlier on our samples as well. So yeah, another one for this one. This time on a cog stencil. And as you can see, really lovely design for that one. And again, on the black bit beneath it as well. which is a good stencil for steampunk as well, isn't it? And I know that there's a certain brand that are bringing out quite a lot of steampunk Christmas dies this year, so that might go in quite well with that too. We then have jar 11, which is Frosted Sky. Now this one's beautiful. Again, you're going to really get to see the crackly effect on the sample of this one, hopefully. It's a bit bolder. I did this one a little bit thicker in the hope that you could see this one a bit better. Again, your Frosted Sky is, of course, reduced from $4.50 to only $3.79 still. And then you've got, lastly, jar number 12, which is Victorian Rose. And this one, again, is really beautiful. It's actually one of the first ones I got to play about with, and I thought this was a really lovely colour. Such a nice dusky pink. It's beautiful. Very good for the vintage effect, which, of course, ties in with our crackle effect. All of the colours of these have been designed by Phil Martin, and they're under the Cosmic Shimmer brand. So always when we're talking of Cosmic Shimmer products, we know that you're going to get really good value for money and a really good product to actually work with. So I think you're really going to love these. Even if you're new to stenciling and texture paste, these are a great place to start because they're easy to use and you always get good effects. Now, if you can't pick between your 12 colours, now who could blame you because they are so Moorish, we have, of course, a bundle for you. So this is code Crackle Bundle. To buy all 12 at their recommended retail price would cost you £54. But if you wish to buy off 12, your offer price is just $42.99, which is a great place to start. As I say, if you are new to these or new to texture paste and stencils, that's a really good bundle to get your hands on and be able to play about with. Now, in front of this actual bundle, you'll see a couple of other bits I've done. I only thought of this towards the end of today as well, but I started playing around with them on patterned backgrounds. So these are using some 12 by 12 patterns, and I thought that really blended in quite well. I could see this being very popular with scrapbookers as well, because it gives you that really nice vintage effect. And then at the very back here, this stencil, which we haven't yet looked at our stencils, but this one's actually done on an envelope. And I thought that was quite a nice idea too, to be able to add some decoration to your envelopes. I often say this, but we spend so much time on the cards and then sort of don't do much with the envelopes. And I think this would be a really nice way to tie your designs in together without it costing you the earth or taking too much effort to do. So of course that is your Crackle bundle. Should be £54, but it's only $42.99. Now I mentioned earlier that you might want some stencil tape to work with all this. So your stencil tape comes in a pack. You get 3 reels in there. It's only a thin stencil tape, which is perfect for this because you don't want to get in too far in the way of your stencils when you're actually working with it. So you're going to get 3 rolls of that for only $1.99. And again, little hint, but it is in your essentials pack if you want to save a bit of money and get it in that bundle too. But if you do wish to order it via our code system, then all you need is code MASK. The tools we were talking about earlier, of course, these are all 5 tools. That's the one I was using. But as I said to you earlier, they really are good if you want to do double colours on stencils and bits like that. I'll get to show you some of them in my samples. But this is code TOOLS. You get all 5 tools in there for just $4.99. And as I said earlier, they really are very good quality tools. So even if you have got some, you might want to stock up and get them as well. Again, they are in your essentials pack, so you can save a third on them too in your essentials pack, but we'll get to that shortly. Let's have a look for all the stencils now, because as I say, we have got lots of lovely stencils, different sizes, different themes, so really good for all year, this collection. And of course, you can buy them individually, and of course, we're in a Sunday showcase, we have some money off them too. So our first one is Stencil 13, which is Celtic Vine. It should be £3.49, but it's only £2.99. So a nice 50p saving on that one. And we do have a little bundle of these shortly for you to have a look at too. The next one along is Stencil 14. This is Daisy Patch, which is actually the one I got to show you at the very beginning when I did my example for you. So this is Daisy Patch, should be £3.49, but only £2.99. The next one along is Stencil 15. Now this one's called A Touch of Class. It should be £3.49, but it's only £2.99. Really delicate one, this one. Very, very, very precise work on that one. And of course, when we're looking at these stencils, although I've spent all day working with them using texture paste, there's nothing stopping you using these with inks and misters and bits like that too. So even if you're not feeling the texture paste bit, you might really like these for some of your other crafting ideas. Stencil 16 is just called Delicate, but code 16, Stencil 16, again £3.49 reduced to £2.99. Then the next one round, this is the one I just showed you on the envelope. This one is Stencil 17, it's called Ornate Frame. Same price again, so should be £3.49 but only £2.99. And then stencil 18, this is baubles. Now this is, when we look at them, I'm going to show you a bigger bauble shortly, but this is our smaller stencil for our baubles. So this one is just code stencil 18, baubles, $3.49, reduced to just $2.99 once again. And then earlier I mentioned our trees. I told you that we've got some beautiful tree ones. This is really clever because there's lots we can do with this one. So this one is stencil 19, it's birch trees. And again, packet and brand have changed, but the price is still the same. So it should be $3.49, but this time only $2.99. Then we've got a really good one for your men's cards and your steampunky bits. And as I said earlier, we have got a bit of a Christmassy steampunk part coming out soon. So this one is stencil 20. This is your cog set, should be $3.49, but it's only $2.99. Then we go to a larger stencil. Now this is really clever. Phil Martin's designed this one for larger cards. We know that a lot of people are using bigger cards, and as 8x8s are now more in fashion, he's actually thought about making stencils that size too. So this is one of the ones that he's brought out recently for Christmas, obviously. This one is stencil 21. It's called Elegant Ornaments. It should be $5.99, but we've reduced that one down to just £5.29. And it's beautiful. And I love the way, especially with the bauble ones, obviously if you want to make bigger panels or you want to use them on the inside and the outside but you want them to look different, you can just flip the stencil over to reverse the image, obviously. So you can get different effects using that if you wish to. We then have some little mini stencils for you. Now these are super cute. Stencil 22 is our first one. This one's our snowflake one. It should only be £1.49 is the recommended price, but we have reduced them on the Sunday Showcase offer to just £1.29 each. So your first one is snowflakes. The next one along is code stencil 23. It's our butterfly splash. Again, now only reduced to £1.29. And then the last one in this set is ornamental. Its code is stencil 24, and again it should be £1.49, but it's only £1.29. Now with the stencils, if you can't choose from all of them, which again, who could blame you? You might want all of them too. You could buy them in one bundle. So this is your stencil bundle. It has all 12 stencils in it. The recommended retail price for this collection is £38.38, but we've reduced that even further for you to just £29.99. So that's going to get you every single stencil we have just looked at. Isn't that great? Good little saving to be had, and so much you could do with these. Now with that in mind, I told you today is a day of offers. If you're now thinking, well actually I want the texture paste and I want the stencils, which again, who could blame you? You need all of it. You really do need all of it. We have a bundle for that too, and that is this week's mega bundle. So your mega bundle should be £92.38, but is only £70, and that will give you all 12 stencils and all 12 designs of the texture paste. So again, so much we could do with that. As somebody who's been playing with all of these products now for nearly a week on and off, I can tell you the options are just endless. This video could go on for a week with just showing you different ways and combinations we can use them. So I'll try to keep it short, but there really is just so much we could do with this. I even warned you on last week's video I was looking forward to this week, and I really have been. It's just such a fun product to be playing about with. Now this week we have made an essentials pack for you, really thinking of all of the essentials you're going to need to work with this collection. So we've sort of taken out all the bells and whistles, but give you all of the true essentials you're going to want. When we're working with texture paste and with stencils, the one thing you're really going to need and appreciate is cardstock. So in this week's essentials pack, your value is £21.79, but the offer price is only £14. If you are new to our videos, then every week we create an essentials pack, or we try to do every week, and in it is all of the bits I've been playing around with on my cards. So if you do wish to get the products and have a play about yourself, you should be able to create very similar items to what I have, and we of course reduce it by roughly about a third. So this week you're saving even more than that, because it should be £21.79 and it's only £14. Now, in this week's pack, what are we giving you? We are giving you 10 sheets of Pearl Dark Champagne cardstock. And this is a really good weight of cardstock. It's great if you want to make boxes, cards. Of course, you can use your paste on it. You can die cut it as well. Really is a good weight of Pearl cardstock, and you're going to get 10 sheets of that. We're then going to give you 2 A4 sheets of dark brown cardstock, 2 Linen Effect A4 purple cardstock, 2 gold glitter cardstock, then 2 olive green Linen Effect cardstock. Again, the linen is really lovely on these, especially working with your stencils and your texture paste. Gives you a bit more of a vintage effect when we're working on linen. We've then got 2 of our dark blue A4 card, and then 2 of our moss green A4 card. Then we're going to give you 4 of our dark cream linen card. Again, this is a really good essential, especially with the colours of your texture paste. They just really go together well. We're then going to give you 3 of the light blue linen card. And then we've got 3 black. So if you did like the black samples I've done for you, it really does pop out really lovely on black. So we're going to give you 3 sheets of A4 in black as well. We're then going to give you a thinner card. This one's slightly thinner, but great for die cutting, great for your layers, great for working with your texture paste and your stencils. But you're going to get 5 sheets in pink, 5 sheets in cream, 5 sheets in blue, and 5 sheets in white. Now this is perfect for you to have a good old play about with your texture paste, see how you get on and experiment about a bit. We're also going to give you a pack of foam tape on a roll so you can layer all of your bits. So I'll get to show you shortly how I've created a pocket on my cards using that. So a really good product to have in your stash if you haven't already. You're then going to get your masking tape. Now this again is a pack of 3 rolls, so there's quite a lot in here. Certainly going to last you a long time. We're also giving you the tools. So if you are going to be getting the stencils and the texture paste, you're going to need the tools. So they again are in your essentials pack. And then towards the back here, we've got 3 sheets of pearl card. They're all A4 and they're all just really moorish colours. So we've got sort of a green with a hint of gold, a blue and a mink. And the mink is perfect because it matches in with the mink in the texture base perfectly. So if you do want to layer these bits up, you can do really well. Now then, I can tell you that I'll be showing you an ultimate pack at the end of today's video, and all that is basically a way that you can buy everything together using one code, and we'll get to that a little later and I'll show you more about that because it's at the very end of the tables and we're up here and I don't want to take you all the way down there to bring you all the way back. So we'll start here, we'll work through all the cards and then we'll have a little look at that too. So this is my first card I have done. Now that's using this little stencil here, which if you are keeping up and you want to order these individually, you can do. This one is Stencil 24, it's ornamental. And then on the front of my card, I have used Frosted Jade, which is number 10. Now this I think is quite important because it shows you how the colours vary depending on the card you pop it onto. I really think this looks like the blue when you get to see it in person, but it isn't. It is actually the jade. The butterflies here, by the way, are die cuts. These were actually ones that we sold individually, and they were already orangey, but I decided I wanted to paint them, so I've just painted over them using my texture paste and a paintbrush. And as you can see, it's cracking really nicely on that too. So there's nothing stopping you from painting your die cuts as well. So that's our first card. On to our second one. Now this one has got number 18. For your stencil, that's your baubles one, and for your texture paste I've used number 3, which is Denim Blue. And of course this is just lovely. It's one of the smaller Christmas stencils. As I said, there is the bigger one, I'll show you that one in just a moment, but it's just perfect to add a bit of glitter to it as well. There's no reason we can't have glitter and vintage together. And of course you're getting to see your cardstock in here, which of course is in your essentials pack, which you'll get to see on lots of these. This one's another little one done with that stencil, just to show you a different colour. This one's done with a forest green on brushed gold cardstock, just to give you a different colour scheme as well. Try and show you all of these different samples as we go through today. That, of course, is your stencil. If you can't remember, that one is number 18. And then we'll show you the bigger bauble. So this is your stencil for that one, which, of course, is the Elegant Ornaments. And it's number 21. And on this card, I've used it with number 9, Ruby Red, for your texture paste. And again, I've just glittered in the stripes on the actual bauble. I've added a few of the gems. It's done on the goldy green cardstock that is in your essentials pack. And then at the very top here, I've used a little flower stencil, which will be coming back in stock shortly. And it's just a lovely one again to use with your texture paste. There's a couple of today's stencils I'm going to talk about, which we didn't manage to get in stock this time, and that is one of them. But they will be following in hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So we'll keep you updated, of course, with their arrival on Facebook and on our website. So if you do see a stencil that we haven't shown you in the bundles or separates, don't panic, they're on order, but it will be a good couple of 3 weeks till they're here. And that's a little sneaky peek at one of them that will be following on. We then have this part here, which is done using 2 colours. Now, of course, when we spoke about the tools that you get in your pack, this is where they come in really handy, because it means that you can go in and just pop in little hints of colour in different areas without slapping it all over and getting it a bit too messy. So quite an easy way to do that one, if you've got that really lovely tool pack. Now, of course, this one's got the Regal Purple and the Forest Green colours on it, to give you an idea, but there's no reason you couldn't add in more colours if you wanted to, or, of course, stick to those ones. And then this one again is using the same stencil. So we're still on Stencil 21, your Elegant Ornaments, but this time we've gone for Frosted Heather, which is number 7. and I've just layered that on some lilac cardstock and added a bit of a bow to go with it. Kept this one quite simple, but if you wanted to, you could add in some silver maybe. If you wanted to colour in the lines like I did on the others, some silver glitter might be quite nice, or the odd silver gem. I've kept these quite vintage and a bit minimalist, but you could add it up a bit more if you wanted to. And then this one again is the same stencil, but this time it's using Denim Blue, just to give you a different idea. And that, of course, is the cardstock that is in your Essentials pack as well. I'm trying to show you all the different colours, because as I said earlier, there's just so many options for these. I could keep you here forever. This time we are looking at the Birch Trees stencil, which of course is number 19 if you are going to order those separately. Now this card is actually one of the ones that will be featuring in one of our upcoming lessons. If you haven't seen our lessons before, we hold our lessons every week in our Lowestoft store and our Great Yarmouth store. This one will be starting off in the Lowestoft store in a few weeks' time, and then will then be repeated in Yarmouth in roughly 6 weeks after that. So if you haven't seen that, check out the events section on our Facebook page and you can see all of the upcoming lessons. We do crochet lessons and crops and card making. It really is a great little place to join in and come along to some of those, and this will be one of the projects that's on that one. So for your stencil this time, I have used the Smooth Caramel Texture Paste, which is number 6. But before I did my stenciling, I've just distressed my cardstock. This is using the dark champagne cardstock that you're going to get in the Essentials pack. I've just used 3 different shades of Distress inks to make my background. And then I've gone over the top of it with my stencil and texture paste. And then I've actually added a little slit in here to hide my reindeer. So you might be able to see that just about. I've just cut a little part in there and tucked him actually into my card and then padded on another one over the front of it, just to make a bit of a Christmas scene. There are many different things you could hide behind these trees. I know another brand had an embossing folder that was very similar out for a couple of years, and a lot of people parked cars behind the trees and did that in front of them and different scenes like that. So there's nothing stopping you from building up really intricate scenes behind these trees. And the good bit with one of the stencils versus something like a stamper and embossing folder is if you don't want to use all of the trees, if you only want to have a car parked sort of behind 1 or 2 of them, just don't put your texture paste through it. Just use the bits you want to use. You don't have to use all of it in one go. You could use opposite trees and tie a hammock between it if you wanted to. The options are up to you. They really are endless with a stencil like that. Moving on to our next card. This time we have used stencil 16, which is called Delicate, and I have used paste number 1, which is called Frosted Aqua. Now this one's really simple. A lot of my cards today are quite easy, simply because I wanted to show you so many bits from it and show you so many different options and colourways that we can do with them. Now this bit here is interesting. I've done this quite a few times because I want my colour match for my layers to match exactly with my texture paste. I've just cut a square of card, and using the tools in your tool pack, I've just spread it around the edges so it hasn't gone far into the card. I don't know if we're going to be able to see under here, but it's literally like a 1/2 inch border around the edge of it, just so you could have that really nice matching colour, and you don't have to worry about having all of the colours of cardstock you need to marry up with it. But it's a nice way to also have that crackle effect around the borders to match in with your actual focal points as well. And this stencil is really lovely because it leaves a gap in the middle of the flowers, so if you do want to add a little gem in there or a pearl like I have, you really can, and it just sets it off really beautifully. Same stencil again, so that's this one we're looking at, just in case you're wondering what they look like as a stencil. So that's number 16, Delicate, and this time I've gone for colour number 2, which is Frosted Blossom. And this time I've actually popped it over a coordinating colour of pink of Centura Pearl cardstock. I've no reason why you can't layer your colours up if you want to. There's nothing stopping you doing double pinks or double greens, double blues, whatever it is you wish to do. Again, I've just added a bow and a little sentiment. I've tucked a die cut corner underneath each of my sides just to try and tie in a bit more interest as well. But again, quite a simple card, really not anything too challenging. And of course, like on this one, you see I've put these die cut butterflies on. There's nothing stopping you using your butterfly stencil number 23 and actually doing them with your texture paste, cutting them out and layering them on, a bit like I did with the flowers on that card we showed you a moment ago with the baubles. So this time we are looking at stencil 17, which is your ornate frame. Now I am a bit in love with this one. This is the one again that we used on the envelope when I showed you that earlier. This here is just used on a piece of the dark champagne cardstock. This time I've used forest green, which is number 8. And again, you really can see a different colours going on here, just being on cream. And I've popped a die cut in the middle of it, but one of the good bits with this stencil is you could pop anything in the middle of there. On the next card I'm going to show you, I've used it as an insert. So we've got envelopes you can decorate, inserts you can decorate, or of course you could just put it on the front and stick a simple topper or die cut in the middle of it like this. Again, I've cut my dies out of card and I wanted them to match in, so I've painted these again just to tone in with the same green. So a really easy way to just make sure everything colour coordinates without having to have endless cardstock colours. This time on this one, we've used the same number 17 stencil, which is your ornate frame, but I've done it on 2 levels. Now this one again is one of the cards which is going to feature in our stencil lesson, along with a birch tree Christmas card that we were looking at a moment ago. So this and the matching box, which we'll show you in a moment, will be in that lesson too. So as I said, with your frame, nothing stopping you sticking decoupages in the middle of it. So this time we've just gone for one of those instead. It really just opens up so many options. And then on the inside, we've popped just a little sentiment in there instead. So loads of things we can do with that. And then this is your matching box, which, as I say, will be done in your lesson as well. So if you are popping along for that, you will make the box, which of course fits the card perfectly. And of course, because we're using the same colour texture base, although it's a different design stencil, it fits in really well. So on this one, we have got stencil 13, which is called Celtic Vine. That's your stencil there to have a little look at. And of course, we're still using number 4, Regal Purple. So on both of those is your Regal Purple. Then on to our next card. This time we're still sticking with that Celtic one. This is stencil 13, but this time we've changed colour. So we are going for number 12, Victorian Rose. Which again, hopefully you can see the crackle on this, because this is another really good one to see that on. Sometimes different colours show up a bit better or a bit worse, so hopefully you're seeing this. I just think it's so beautiful. I really am in love with this product. Obviously I've added a little decoupage on the front here. I've done a little trick again where I've coloured the card underneath it. I can't break in to show you any of these, but it really is coloured using the same texture paste just so it matches in. And then I've added in a couple more layers of cardstock, which of course are in your essentials pack. Moving on to our next card, this one, oh, I like this one. This is the first time I used the texture paste on Centura Pearl card. So this time we've got the Frosted Sky, which is the blue colour, but I've used it on mint green Centura Pearl. So it sort of throws the eyes off a lot. A lot of people who have looked at this one thought I'd actually used the Frosted Aqua, but I assure you it isn't. This is Frosted Sky number 11, and we've done this through the Daisy Patch stencil, which is number 14, which is that one. Which of course is the same one as we started off at the very beginning of the video, showing you how it looked. I've got so many samples for you today. I'm struggling to keep these all up. I've got no room to move. I've got so much to show you. Next time we are looking at number 14. This again is your Daisy Patch. This time we are with colour 12, which is Victorian Rose. Same idea again through the stencil, just giving you that beautiful crackle effect. And then this here is actually an MDF butterfly, so a proper wooden one. And I've just painted over that using the mint colour, which is number 5. So that's Frosted Mint, number 5. And again, you can see on this really well how in the thicker areas, the places I've put more of the paste on, you've got a much larger crackle effect to the areas where I've done it quite lightly. And I've just applied that using a paintbrush. So if you do want to do different bits with it, nothing's stopping you doing that. I really think some of the MDF projects, some of the big desk tidies and wheelbarrows and bird cages and bits like that could really look good with some of this on it. So really nice idea. And then earlier I said to you how in the Essentials pack you were getting a roll of foam tape. That's because I've applied foam tape to 3 sides of my layer so I could create a little pocket. So in here I've got just a little pocket with some few stamped images around the edge which I've painted in, and then I've stamped a little sentiment in the middle. But I love little hidden pockets. I think it's because at heart I'm a secret scrapbooker, and I think it's a lovely way of hiding little messages and bits like that in your cards, or scrapbooks. So all you do is just 3 lines of your double-sided foam tape, and then that will create a little pocket for you to add in little bits like this. Moving on to our next one. Now this one is using stencil 20, which is our cog stencil. It's using Frosted Mint, which is number 5, to go through the stencil. And you're also getting to see a script stencil in the background. Earlier when we looked at the flowers on the bauble stencil, I warned you how A couple of the stencils sadly were out of stock by the time our order come through, and the script one is one of those, but it should be back in 2 or 3 weeks, and of course it will be on our website and available in store when it is back in stock. But the cogs just go really well for any man's pictures, don't they? So this again is just a decoupage sheet, available online or in store. I've used layers where I have added my texture paste to them just to give that nice crinkly edge to it and a nice texture paste finish with a crackle on it to them too. And of course you can see another good thing here with your script stencil is how I've actually, because it's the same small size, I've just used it 4 times in corners to create an all over background. So again, if you are a scrapbooker and you're looking at this, this would be a really good way to use your stencils to build up bigger pictures. Looking at your cog stencil, these are a couple of different colours I've done in them. So in this one I've got the Frosted Sky, which is number 11, and on this one is Smooth Caramel, which is number 6. So again, depending on the effects you wanted to go with, we do some really nice decoupages of some planes and bits like that, and some motorbikes. I think the motorbikes might go quite nice with the caramel, and the planes would really be nice with a Frosted Sky. So lots of options for them too. And again, you're getting to see different colours that I've used them on. So you've got the brown cardstock again in your essentials pack, and again a really lovely dark green that's in there too to give you different ideas. Now this one again is one I'd made before we knew that our stencil wasn't coming in stock, so I apologise for teasing you a bit with this script stencil, but I wanted to show you the card because it's actually one of my favourites. This time I've used the Frosted Sky, which is number 11, through the script stencil, again on that mint green cardstock, and then I've just layered some of the blue card from your essentials pack under that, green under that, and then die cut out of the same matching cards just to build up my frame around my butterflies. It's a really simple card again, really not taxing, but I just thought it looked quite pretty, so I didn't want you to miss out on seeing this one just for that one missing stencil. You've of course got 12 others to pick from, and if you are really lucky and go for one of the bundles, you're going to have hours of fun with this collection. I can just feel it. This is another one of the stencils that's sadly out. This is our damask stencil, and I've just gone through it on the back of my card. I've put an acetate overlay over the front of it. I've then used the Frosted Mink, which is number 5, to make my little layers on there, and of course through the stencil as well, just to give you a nice acetate covered card. And then that same damask stencil is done on this one, but this time using number 4, which is Regal Purple. I just love that colour, I think it's beautiful. And then again, just layered up some dies and some ribbons and pearls. Really, really simple, not a complicated card at all. But I'm just trying to show you how the different colours can work on different colour cardstocks and through the different stencils. Now, as I said to you a little while ago, we do have an ultimate bundle for you this week. Your ultimate bundle is literally everything you need. So it's got your essentials pack, which of course gives you all of that cardstock we were looking at. It's got your foam tape, your masking tape, the pack of tools you need, all of the stencils that are currently in stock, which is all of those 12, and of course your 12 colours of your actual texture paste. Now this should cost you, if you was to buy them at the recommended retail price, £114.17, but you can buy all of this for just £84.98. Now, as I say, there isn't necessarily a saving on buying the bundle prices, so if you prefer, you can just buy the texture paste bundle, the stencil bundle, or the essential pack. But we like to make it easy if you are shopping online or over the phone or ordering via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just keep it simple. Code Ultimate Bundle, and that will give you everything that we currently have for you from this wonderful collection. Now, as I said, the other stencils which are out of stock, we haven't of course charged you for them. They're not included in any of the bundles, and we will let you know when they come back in stock in 2 to 3 weeks time. I'll mention it on one of my videos, and of course you'll get to see it on the website or on Facebook. Talking of the website, if you are new to us, you can order through our website. You can, of course, have anything delivered anywhere within the UK free if you spend over £35, or under £35 is just a flat rate of £2.75. If you're shopping with us from abroad, that's not a problem. We'll post anything anywhere, including all of today's products are available to be shipped worldwide. Just check out the frequently asked questions page on the website and it will tell you how that works. We try to keep our postage as cheap as we possibly can for you, so it doesn't cost you a fortune to get it to you anywhere in the world. We send an awful lot of stuff to America, New Zealand, Australia and several parts of Europe, so don't worry, you won't be our first, and it will be perfect for you to get these bits wherever in the world you live, because it's awful if you want something and you can't get it, and these products really are so lovely, it's going to be worth it just so you can get to play about with them. If you've enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to click subscribe on our videos and share them if you will. The more people that watch them around the world, including the UK, the more products like today we can bring you and the better offers that we can bring you. Obviously today you've got lots of offers and we really are trying to grow our videos and make them as big and as best as we can. So with that in mind, let's take a quick run through your offers just in case you're not too sure what items you would like again. So this one is of course your Ultimate Bundle, which once again should be £114.17p, reduced to just £84.98p. But that might be a bit too much for you. We don't mind if it is. You can of course buy all of the items individually. So just running through your colours quickly, we have jar 1, which is your Frosted Aqua, reduced from £4.50 to £3.79, as are all of the 12 colours. Jar 2 is Frosted Blossom. Jar 3 is Denim Blue. Jar 4 is Regal Purple. Jar 5 is Frosted Mink. Jar 6 is Smooth Caramel. Jar 7 is Frosted Heather. Jar 8 is Forest Green. Jar 9 is Ruby Red. Jar 10 is Frosted Jade. Jar 11 is Frosted Sky. I was doing so well. Jar 12 is Victorian Rose. And all of those are reduced from £4.50 to just £3.79. Or of course you can buy the bundle. And this of course is your Crackle Bundle, which gives you all 12 colours, should be £54 and is only £42.99. Don't forget your masking tape, that is code MASK, 3 rolls of masking tape, only £1.99. Your tool set, again you can buy it individually, tools is your code for that one. Pack of 5 tools, just £4.99. And then if we do a quick run through your masks, we of course have the Celtic Vine, which is Stencil 13, only £2.99 on offer. Stencil 14 is Daisy Patch, £2.99 on offer. Stencil 15 is A Touch of Class, reduced to £2.99 once again. And then we have Stencil 16, which is called Delicate, reduced to £2.99, sorry, reduced from £3.49 to £2.99. And then Stencil 17 is Ornate Frame, reduced to £2.99. And then your first one of the baubles, the smaller one of the baubles at that, should be £3.49, reduced to only £2.99. That one's Stencil 18. Stencil 19 is the wonderful Birch trees, which we can hide lots of bits behind. That should be £3.49, reduced to only £2.99. And then we have Stencil 20, which is your cog stencil, which again is only £2.99. Then our 8x8 stencil, our biggie, that one is Stencil 21, should be £5.99, but it's only £5.29p. That one, I will warn you now, I think will go very, very quickly. I know there's already a bit of a buzz about that stencil, so don't miss out if that's one you like the look of, get it quickly. Then on to our mini stencils. Stencil 22 is the Snowflakes. Now these should be £1.49, but they're only £1.29 each. Stencil 23 is the Butterfly Splash, and Stencil 24 is Ornamental. Again, they're only £1.29 each, those ones. And they also have a little hole in the top of them. So if you want to collect them and keep them on a ring binder or something, you can, which is quite a nifty way to have them to hand, especially if you want to take them to crops and lessons and things like that. Your Stencil Bundle, all 12 stencils should be £38.38p, but you can buy them for just £29.99 if you just want the stencils. Of course, we then have our Mega Bundle. Not quite as impressive as the Ultimate Bundle, but certainly a good one to get your hands on. The Mega Bundle should be £92.38p, but that one is just £70. It will give you all 12 of the colours of the texture base and all 12 of your stencils. And of course, don't forget your Essentials pack. Should be £21.79p, but it's only £14 and will give you everything you need to get started with. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. That concludes all of your different offers and all of the wonderful products I've got to share with you today. Don't forget to keep an eye on the events section to see when the lesson is announced for the cards that you can come along and play and create. I know some of you sometimes you're a bit nervous about new products like this, but I promise you they're so easy to work with. You're really going to appreciate using them. And we can't leave you without showing you the bit I started with, but they're so fun and so easy. So let's have a little look. I promised you we'd come back to this and I nearly forgot. So it hasn't been that long and you can see already it's already cracked up, and let's check. Yeah, it's perfectly dry. So you could work with that now if you wanted to and create one of the stunning cards or backgrounds, whatever you wish to. Can you see that all right? I'm hoping you can see that. Can I bring that closer for you? Hopefully you can see how beautiful that crackle effect is on this one. And don't forget, I only did that in a couple of seconds. This really isn't a complicated product. This is something you're really going to enjoy and be able to use time and time again really, really easily. So I can't wait to see, by the way, if you do get some of these products, which I'm sure lots of you will, don't forget we have a Sunday Showcase Shares page on Facebook, or a group I should say, which we urge you to share all of your ideas with. It's one thing having me stand here and waffle on about what I've created, but it's really, really lovely to see what you lot do and the ideas and takes on the products that you have. So please, if you do get some of these products, do join the group. I think we're up to about 100 members so far. So do join in. You don't have to share, but if you want to share, please do pop on a picture of anything you've created, because we do really genuinely love to see it. And on the same note, if you haven't found it yet, we also have a Craftmania homework page. On that one, we set a weekly challenge every Friday that we give you a whole different design brief, and then you get different grades depending on which bits of the design brief you take part in. You don't have to do it, and you can change it about a bit if you wish to, but we ask you to enter your entry by the following Friday, and then every Friday we announce a new design brief for you to take part in. Of course, it's completely free. It's just for some fun, really, to see what different people create using different design briefs. Both our Sunday Showcase Shares group and our Craftmania Homework group will be linked in the description to this video, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. So if you wish to, you can click the link and go ahead and join them groups. Once again, please don't forget to subscribe to our videos on YouTube. We've recently hit 1,000 subscribers and are absolutely delighted. Our next target, of course, is thousands more. So if you haven't yet joined in with subscribing, please do. And once again, if you've enjoyed today's video, give us a thumbs up and a share. It means the world to us if you will help us out in that fashion. Thank you so much for watching today. I'll be back next Sunday with another new Sunday Showcase. Bye for now.